Hi all, and welcome to my new video related to Bitcoin mining and energy consumption. This is the fifth video of part 5 out of 7 videos. And in this video, we'll discuss about Bitcoin mining as a pioneer species. This presentation is for educational purpose only, and it is not a financial advice. The reference article is Bitcoin is a pioneer species, written by Brendan Quittem. It's one of the best articles I read of Bitcoin related to energy consumption. I took also this article as a reference for the presentation related to difficulty adjustment and Isle Royale, the connection between what happened in the ecological system of Isle Royale and the comparison with the difficulty adjustment. Here we will focus on how Bitcoin is working as a pioneer species. Firstly, let's discuss about the natural ecosystem. In fact, we see that in the natural ecosystem, pioneer species first colonize a new hostile niche. Fungi, lichens, and primitive plants are good examples. They take the most risk and fail often, yet they play a crucial role. Without pioneer species, complex ecosystem could never get off the ground. If we have a hostile environment, at the beginning there are the pioneer species who try to colonize it and made it more suitable for life. Many times fail, but some are successful, and then they create the first step to create a complex ecosystem. In fact, eventually, pioneer species, they colonize an environment. Then, after it is more suitable, there will be the intermediate species who move to this environment, and eventually pioneer species are displaced by these intermediate species, which are more suitable to the changes in the environment made by pioneer species. In fact, intermediate species include grasses, shrubs, and shade-intolerant trees. This process of ecological succession continues for hundreds of years until the ecosystem becomes a climax opportunity. Climax community are relatively anti-fragile, support large trees, and can sustain a rich diversity of predators and prey. So there are mostly three steps. Pioneer stage, where the fungi, lichens, and primitive plants colonize a new hostile environment. This environment become not anymore hostile and then become suitable also for life, more suitable for life. And then we have intermediate stage where there are grasses, shrubs who move into this environment, and after hundreds of years it becomes a climate community. And this climate community, the pioneers species don't fit anymore and they are displaced. Now that we discuss about the natural ecological system, let's discuss how Bitcoin mining is working as a pioneer species. In fact, Bitcoin mining this is also breakthrough. It incentivizes investors to bootstrap energy sources that aren't currently being harnessed. Like that said, the stranded energy that no one can take because the transportation cost is too high to move this energy, even if it is low cost, to move to a place where it's needed. But as said, Bitcoin mining is the only technology that can use energy wherever it is without transportation costs. In the early stage, in fact, Bitcoin miners serve as a captive demand, reducing the risk and the time to value of the energy asset. Over time, so they go to the place and they colonize the place using the energy. Over time, this leads to an increase in energy production and a decrease in cost. So abundant energy also attract higher value uses case for energy such as industry, as industry will be the intermediate species of this example. Industry in fact create jobs, then people move nearby who subsequently need houses and basic services. Before long, you have a little boom town, similar to what we saw in the gold rush in the mid 1800 80s, so 1800, so in the 19th centuries, or on the back and on field in North Dakota today. This boom town is now an intermediate community, and the new industrial consumers eventually outcompete Bitcoin miners for energy supply because they are willing to pay more. As the same in the natural world, where the environment was fitting more the intermediate species, now when there are also industry, the price for industry, the people who are getting energy are willing to pay more. So this will displace the Bitcoin miners. In fact, the boom town is now able to outcompete nearby ecosystem who have less energy and wealth. And the ecosystem is thriving due to the energy abundance and wealthy shareholders from Bitcoin mining. And the boomtown is now able to outcompete nearby ecosystem who have less energy and wealth. This creates a positive feedback loop, leading to more jobs, more people, more abundance, and a complex culture. Rational companies and politicians will now defend Bitcoin because it's crucial to the success of their city. Eventually, this former energy desert will become a climax community. So we have a place that was hostile, no one could take the energy. Bitcoin mining become the pioneer species. Then we have intermediate species that are, in this case, industry, and then climates ecosystem considering a boom town. In fact, this climax community will owe their success to a subtle shift in incentives created by Bitcoin mining proof of work mechanism. In fact, what happens to the displaced Bitcoin miners, pioneer species, once we have intermediate or complex climates? A few Bitcoin miners stay around and continue soaking up any excess energy capacity. At that level, the energy costs more, the miners are not anymore profitable, so only few Bitcoin miners can afford to remain there and don't use the standard energy, but just use the excess energy capacity because this is the energy with low cost. These will most likely be older generation miners which are less efficient and thus come with a lower opportunity cost. They can handle intermediate load and serve as a background player stabilizing the new grid and ensuring maximum efficiency of all energy produced. And this I discussed in the video number 2 related to excess energy and how Bitcoin minergy is helping to stabilize the grid. Most Bitcoin miners, in fact, only few will remain in this complex climax. Most Bitcoin miners are displaced by consumers who are willing to pay a higher price for energy. Just like pioneer plants in ecological ecosystem, they traverse to new areas by releasing airborne seeds carried by the wind and birds. This is in the ecological system. Eventually, in fact, these citadel seeds find a suitable niche, energy desert, and once again serve as pioneer species in the new location, bootstrapping the entire process again with the benefit of genetic wisdom passed down from the previous generation. So over time, in fact, the selector pressure without the weakest miners and select for those who can manage capital well and form symbiosis with energy producing the best. Individual miners, also another breakthrough is that individual miners are self-interest, and yet the miner ecosystem as a whole is effectively competing for who can benefit humanity the most. So these Bitcoin miners using stranded energy can go to hostile place or place where the only Bitcoin mining can bootstrap the energy, you can take the energy, you can make use the energy. Then they became with abundant energy, became intermediate species and then intermediate environment with industry and then complex environment like a boom town. And when we reach this level, Bitcoin miners move to another hostile place because the energy costs too much and they are not profitable anymore. So also thanks to Bitcoin mining, humanity can benefit because it will create a lot of complex climax community that will not be able to create without Bitcoin mining. Because once again, is the only technology that can make use of stranded energy, of energy that is far away from any town, or especially more than 500 kilometers. With that, it's the end of this presentation. I hope you enjoyed and see you in one of the next videos. Bye.